In the hills of a remote region in Turkey, a small village shrouded in centuries-old mysteries has become the site of an astonishing discovery. Hidden on no map, the village of Toket is now the stage for a revelation that could shake everything we know about history and spirituality. Deep within caves seemingly frozen in time, a group of archaeologists stumbled upon an unexpected find, a Bible so ancient that its existence challenges the limits of recorded history. Let's explore with us the secrets of this forbidden Bible and the secrets the Church has hidden. An ancient Bible preserved by time. In the quiet dust of history, there lies a secret that has eluded human understanding for millennia. Hidden beneath the rubble of time, this manuscript, bathed in mystery and shrouded in layers of dust, speaks of forgotten truths and lost stories. It is a text not of our time, but of one long past. Its language so nearly forgotten that only the most astute scholars can decipher its delicate script. The words within are not the ones we have come to know from tradition, nor do they follow the familiar tales that have shaped the Christian faith for centuries. What they reveal is far more intricate, far more profound. These forgotten chapters speak of figures, events, and teachings that have been deliberately erased from the memory of humanity as though to bury them forever under the sands of time. Each page reveals a tale not yet told, offering a different glimpse into the early world of faith and struggle. These hidden chapters, which reveal themselves like the slow unraveling of a tightly wound thread, pose a question that cannot be easily dismissed. Why has this text remained veiled for so long? And yet, deep within these forgotten pages, the question that echoes louder than the rest is not merely one of history, but one of divine intention. Were these stories hidden for reasons beyond human understanding, or was it the hand of history itself that chose to keep them from us? The very preservation of this text, locked away in some remote corner of the earth, suggests that there may be forces at work beyond mere happenstance. What secrets does it hold, and to whom will these revelations be entrusted in the end? The missing chapters of early Christianity. In the shadow of empires and the fires of persecution, the story of Christianity is not just one of faith, but of defiance. The early followers of Christ did not merely proclaim their faith, they defended it with every ounce of their being. The Roman Empire, with its vast reach and insatiable thirst for power, sought to quash any challenge to its authority. Christianity, with its radical message of salvation and a kingdom not of this world, was seen as a threat that needed to be erased. The persecution began quietly at first, as whispers of dissent began to stir, but it quickly grew into a storm of violence, with Christians being hunted down like animals, blamed for the fire that ravaged Rome in 64 AD. The empire's soldiers, acting as instruments of destruction, tore through the homes of believers, seeking out any trace of the new faith. Their scriptures were burned, their gatherings shattered, and their words lost in the roar of the empire's wrath. In the midst of such darkness, it was not just the men of power who fought back, but ordinary men and women who bore the torch of faith through the trials of persecution. These early Christians understood the importance of safeguarding their sacred texts, not just for themselves, but for future generations. In their hands, those fragile pages became the voice of the divine, a lifeline to a future that was yet unseen. Through caves and catacombs, their whispers of faith echoed, carrying the sacred words across generations. For every word hidden away, every letter copied in secret, there was an act of resistance, a refusal to let the light of truth be extinguished. And so, these manuscripts, with their delicate preservation, stand as both witnesses to history and as guardians of an alternate truth, untouched by the hand of imperial power. Unveiling hidden truths. The text we uncover is not simply a relic of the past. It is the key to unlocking a forgotten world. These ancient writings, though long concealed, carry with them the weight of a truth not yet fully understood. They challenge the very foundations upon which we stand and question the narratives that have shaped human history for centuries. The Gospel of Barnabas, in particular, stands as one of the most enigmatic and controversial of these hidden manuscripts. Its teachings present a startling contradiction to the familiar accounts found in the New Testament. In this Gospel, Jesus is not the crucified Savior, but rather a man whose life is spared, whose mission is left unfulfilled. Instead of fulfilling the prophecy of sacrifice and resurrection, Barnabas's gospel suggests that someone else took Jesus' place on the cross, forever changing the story of salvation. This revelation is not merely a theological debate, it is a challenge to the very heart of the Christian message. If Jesus did not die on the cross, what then is the meaning of his sacrifice? What of the redemption offered to mankind? And if these events were so drastically different, what does that tell us about the true nature of Jesus' mission on earth? Such questions are not easily answered. Yet, these hidden manuscripts, each page a whisper from the past, urge us to look deeper, to question the truths we have long accepted. Perhaps there are other perspectives, truths hidden away that when unveiled will reveal the complete picture, one that we were never meant to see until now. For in the shadows of the past, there are still truths waiting to be revealed. And it is in those revelations that we may uncover not only the history of faith, but the very essence of humanity's journey toward understanding and enlightenment. Alternative Christian narratives. As we venture deeper into the shadows of early Christianity, we unearth narratives that have long been concealed from view. Among these is the Gospel of Barnabas, a text that introduces an astonishing new perspective on Jesus' role in the grand design of faith. According to this gospel, Jesus was not the final chapter in humanity's spiritual evolution, but rather a prophet preparing the world for a greater prophet yet to come, a figure whose message would surpass even the profound teachings of Christ himself. This idea radically departs from the traditional Christian narrative, which places Jesus at the very foundation of the Christian faith as the ultimate and final revelation. In contrast, the Gospel of Barnabas suggests that Jesus' mission was one of prophecy, a precursor to a more monumental spiritual event that would unfold in the future. This shifts Jesus' identity from the founder of a new religion to a herald, a figure who pointed beyond himself to a future that remained veiled to his contemporaries. For centuries, the Church viewed this text with suspicion and hostility, fearing its implications. The early councils of Christianity were tasked with defining the boundaries of the faith, and as these councils solidified their theological doctrines, they systematically rejected any text that presented a version of Christianity that did not align with the emerging orthodoxy. Texts that contradicted the central tenets of Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection were not only excluded from the Bible, but labeled as heretical, their teachings suppressed and eradicated. The Gospel of Barnabas was one such casualty of these efforts to shape a unified Christian doctrine. As a result, for many centuries, this manuscript and others like it were relegated to the periphery, preserved only by those few who saw it as holding truths too important to be forgotten. But the discovery of manuscripts like the Bible of Toquet has reignited the conversation around these excluded narratives, questioning what has been lost. And why? How much of what we know about Christianity today is the result of choices made by a select few? Decisions that forever altered the course of religious history. The importance of forgotten texts. In the dust of history, there lies an unsettling truth about how power and human interest can shape the narrative of faith. The resurgence of the Gospel of Barnabas invites scholars and believers alike to reflect on the broader implications of this lost knowledge. It is not merely a question of authenticity, but of the very nature of the story we have been told about Christ and his teachings. How much of the Christian faith, as we know it today, has been influenced by political and theological decisions made by those in power during the early centuries of the Church? The rediscovery of texts like the Gospel of Barnabas forces us to confront the possibility that much of what we hold as absolute truth may have been carefully curated, shaped to reflect the interests of those who held authority at the time. In the process, other voices, other versions of the story were suppressed, cast aside, and forgotten. And yet, as these hidden manuscripts come back to light, they present an opportunity to broaden our understanding of the early Christian experience. What might we have missed, and what might be uncovered as we begin to ask these questions? If the Gospel of Barnabas offers a radically different account of Jesus' life and mission, what other forgotten stories might emerge, waiting to challenge and expand our understanding of the past? The texts that have been excluded from the official canon, hidden away in remote corners of history, carry the potential to illuminate a more intricate and multifaceted history than we have yet considered. These writings, once lost, now beckon us to uncover them, to see how they might deepen and complicate the narrative of faith that has shaped the course of human history. Beyond the canon, hidden knowledge. The Bible of Tokit is not just an artifact. It is a living testament to the forgotten wisdom of ages past, a wisdom that challenges the boundaries of tradition and opens doors to spiritual possibilities once deemed heretical. This manuscript, along with others like it, holds within its fragile pages not just the echoes of an alternative narrative, but the essence of a spiritual truth that transcends the limitations imposed by the institutionalized church. For centuries, the church worked diligently to preserve a unified narrative, one that supported its growing power and influence. It was a time when doctrine was enforced with unwavering certainty, and anything that deviated from the established teachings was seen as a threat to the spiritual and political order. Texts that challenged the orthodoxy, that proposed a more direct connection between humanity and the divine, texts like the Bible of Tokit, were pushed into obscurity. Their ideas were seen as dangerous, for they threatened to dismantle the structures that the church had worked so hard to establish. Yet, as these texts resurface today, they present an opportunity to reclaim a more personal, intimate connection with the divine, one that does not rely on intermediaries or rituals, but invites individuals to seek truth and enlightenment directly. What if spirituality is not bound by institutions or doctrines, but instead exists within the heart of each person, waiting to be discovered? The Bible of Tokit, along with other rediscovered manuscripts, invites us to ask these questions. They ask us to reconsider the nature of our faith, to explore the deep wells of wisdom that have been hidden for so long. And in doing so, they offer a vision of spirituality that is less about conformity and more about liberation, freedom to explore, to question, and to find the divine within ourselves. A new understanding of faith. The rediscovery of the Bible of Tokit challenges the silences imposed over the centuries, bringing to light a spirituality that transcends the limits of organized religions. Its words speak directly to the heart, evoking truths older than dogmas themselves. This discovery is not just an archaeological find, but an invitation to reconsider our relationship with the sacred, illuminating paths that have long been obscured by dominant interpretations. These ancient texts carry a powerful message. True knowledge never disappears. It simply hides until someone dares to seek it.